Welcome everyone to the Alps of France in the city of Grenoble, the host for the 2024 Grand Prix final. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty as we fly once again over the city of Grenoble. Such a beautiful scene.
Such a wonderful city, and it is great to hear the skaters being able to explore and exploit the opportunity to be in France at the pinnacle of the Grand Prix series.
Well, this city and this culture and this event brings so much joy and culture to all of us. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here to cover the event.
It really, really is. And as we look ahead now to the Paris Prix skate, we get excited to celebrate the lives of the athletes who are in the midst of an Olympic dream. And this event will build up towards the championship events in early 2025 before then proceeding towards the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympic Games, which will be a focal point for so many of the athletes, and in particular as we head towards seeing some of the very best pair skaters in the world. The results here, although won't change their quality, it will give confidence and sometimes an energy commitment as the season progresses, indicating what might come over the course of the next 14 months in their lives.
Well, this facility, the Patinoire Pôle Sud, the home of one of the best hockey teams in France. It was built in 2001. The rink that was built for the 1968 Winter Olympic Games, which Grenoble was the host of, no longer is an ice rink, but this is a beautiful size for this type of an event.
And we have been treated, as we look at the skaters getting ready to come onto the ice, by the host venue trying to G up and excite the local crowd. No French representation in the pairs discipline, but a couple of Italian teams will take to the ice not too far from here, who train in Bergamo in Italy.
And we've talked about, Mark, how deep the pair field is in seniors and now in juniors as well. The pair discipline a few years ago was really a bit unhealthy from the perspective that numbers were not big. And the ISU has been running seminars around the world to try to increase the number of pairs, and that has actually worked very well. And I know a number of nations have been doing active work in the development of pair skating, putting the skaters together, you know, single skaters together, of course, and we've seen the results here. So anything can happen. There used to be those teams that might have been at the top and stayed at the top, but things have been changing.
And total shout out to the coaches and the choreographers and the staff behind the athletes that are going to take to the ice. We see the results from yesterday's short program indicating the discrepancy in scores, and we're seeing skating nations that have not had a stranglehold in the pairs discipline over previous years, and that is testament to the desire and hunger of the coaching staff that have pushed their respective skating nations forwards in this discipline.
Now we will not see the world champion from past season, Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps of Canada, had to withdraw just a little bit before the competition. Maxime had an illness, was unable to prepare enough for this event. So we'll have Rebecca Gallardi and Filippo Ambrosini replace them.
Send our very best wishes to Diana and Maxime, and hopefully we will be treated to their performances in 2025 at championship events.
Well, our first team representing Italy, Rebecca Gallardi and Filippo Ambrosini. Late entry, interesting story. We'll fill you in on that we heard from their coach a little earlier today. And representing the United States of America, Ellie and Danny O'Shea. Also representing Italy, Sara Conti and Niccolo Macci. As they fit through the boards together.
What a dynamic turnaround it has been in the energy of Sara and Niccolo this season. They are joyous and come into this following success in winning the most recent, the last stage of the Grand Prix.
Now, Mark, you tell the story for Rebecca and Filippo, the first team out in this event. We had an interesting conversation with the coach. Their story is...
Yeah, Daniel Agiano, their coach, one of the coaches at the Ice Lab in Bergamo, a hotbed for upcoming and emerging Italian pair skaters, was explaining to us that Rebecca and Filippo, as we see on screen now, were their first alternates team, and they knew that they had up until Monday lunchtime to get the call. And they'd explained that Filippo was suffering from a hip injury, and he'd strained his groin, and he was suffering. And so they were somewhat hoping that the call wouldn't come through because they didn't feel in the ideal preparation. They'd also changed their skates because they knew that they needed to move into new boots to break in for the championships in 2025. Monday lunchtime comes, Monday lunchtime goes, but then at 4, and they assume that they're safe and clearly through without having to worry about performing again. And yet, 4 o'clock Monday, a call comes through to confirm that the Canadian team of Diana and Maxime have been forced to withdraw, as we see Noah Lafornada support.
And Filippo goes back to the old skates, and things sort of come together pretty quickly. And in the short program, they were really good.
And great to see them absolutely rising to the occasion, showcasing their maturity and experience as we look now to Ellie and Danny O'Shea.
From the United States, and they're a powerful team, and you'll see some great elements. This team has come along so nicely and well experienced.
Absolutely. As we see Sara struggling a little bit. And Ellie doesn't have quite the same experience that Danny has. She appearing to relish this stage in their first Grand Prix final. And I think she could be in line for the ISU award of best costume this season. Looking resplendent.
Are you a judge? Or?
No, I am not. I think, Ted, that's a proud father.
I think so.
It's a guess. Now, the smile on the face of Sara Conti, despite having a fall here, showcases where she and her partner are at this season. They catapulted up to success 2 seasons ago, and they themselves felt that they didn't necessarily even feel deserving of it. They were surprised to find themselves up in the world contention. Last year was tough, and now this year they're back. And although they're still in this group, they appear to be facing this season with such a renewed joy and appreciation for one another, and also participation in elite events like this.
And you have to think that every Italian athlete has in the back of their mind, or maybe in the front of their mind, the Winter Olympic Games next year in Italy as a dream, as a goal, as a lifetime pursuit, if you will, and within grasp.
Yeah. As we see Niccolo taking some firm grip for the lifts to come. And it's interesting, I haven't heard from Sara and Niccolo in regards to their off-ice support, but when we reference the likes of Matteo Rizzo, the Italian male skater, I've been able to see some of the support that these Italian athletes have had from a physiotherapy standpoint, and that perhaps has been a funding boost because of the games coming up in their home nation.
I want to go back to your mentioned firm grip. What was that, and why is it? Well, that firm grip is a little bit not like glue, but it's sticky. Why? Because the handholds for the man and the woman is very important, because they're dangerous elements, and you can't lose or slip that grip, and so that helps them secure that and cement that grip.
And actually, on the back of that, the discussion about what's necessary pertaining to Sara and Niccolo, they have actually acknowledged that their costumes this season are enhancing the comfort for Niccolo on the split twist, because Sara's wearing a catsuit as opposed to a dress, which is entirely allowed, and Niccolo explaining that then he feels that he's got much better grip when it comes to the takeoff of the split twist. So these fine details, as we see the fans of the sport, are poignant and pertinent.
And they're safety issues. They really are. You have to have that firm grip on your hands and that to hold the woman safely, if you will. So that's something we actually don't mention very often. I thought I'd bring it up because it was interesting as we take a look at a young fan. What a cutie. Yeah. Well, the fans love to be on screen. They shine in the last minute or so of the warm-up.
And good to see that there's an increasing number of fans coming to support the athletes.
Of young fans.
Yes.
It's great.
Oh.
Oops. She puts the hot dog down.
That's a cruel time to find somebody.
Oh,
now then.
There we go.
Daniel was explaining to us that Filippo Ambrosini can get in his head and can be a very emotional skater that sometimes can detract from the mental preparation in the fight. And you could see the coach exuding as much conviction for the athlete.
Well, lots of energy in the building, both on the ice and in the stands. And it's great to see, you know, when you come to these figure skating events, you want to have, be entertained, you want to be thrilled, you want to feel the roller coaster of emotions of life and watching the athletes at the same time entertained, and they certainly are doing that here in Grenoble.
And for the skaters, so much training time in cold, dark ice rinks around the globe happens without an audience.
Yes.
And so for them now to take to this stage and have the support.
Well, it's wonderful, and it's energy, and maybe for some, it's nerve-wracking.
Understandably.
Absolutely. Here we go. The senior pair free program. Well, Mark has told the story of this team from Italy, Rebecca Gallardi and Filippo Ambrosini. They have a season's best in the free program of 123.36. They were 6 after the short program.
Now, a week ago, they didn't know that they would be competing in Grenoble. They had a solid short program, now hoping for a solid free skate to add to it.
And they will skate the free to Bram Stoker's soundtrack, Dracula.
Rocker change edge entry into double axles. Single for Rebecca. Catalogue of mistakes there through the course of the jumping sequence. Lovely throw triple lutz. Followed up with an equally brilliant throw triple loop. Well, submarring the first 3 elements in red in the top left-hand corner of the screen. The rest of the program for Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini, a success, and you can see what it means to them now, and also the relief. What a full array of emotions they must have gone through over the course of the past 5 days.
I give Filippo a lot of credit here because that beginning was awkward and he could have let that go down, but he had the most dangerous elements coming up, the lifts. But he steadied himself, good turns, solid lifting, and the rest of the program really started to come together.
Absolutely, and this is a team that is trying to do all they possibly can to amass a greater technical element score within the 3 lifts, and the judging criteria looks for good takeoffs and landings, good speed, flow and ice coverage, and effortlessness throughout, and they really push the exits to try to showcase higher GOE.
And Rebecca was awesome on those throws, so strong in the back. There's the twist, the triple twist coming in just at level 2, so missing 2 of the 4 possible features. The double axles, this was a single by Rebecca, pardon me, and it just got messy from there on in. This start was shaky, without question, and then this, missed timing on the Salchow jumps, and feeling a little bit out of sorts, but after that, it started to come together. Look at that lift, ice coverage great, one hand, difficult position, level 4, group 5, reverse, most difficult. There's the death spiral in at just a level 2, so missing 2 features on that. And here is the throw, triple Lutz, beautifully landed.
I think fight the word coming from the mouth of the coach Daniel Aggiano. And Daniel had explained that following the success of their short program yesterday, that it did change the perspective, but there was an element of we have nothing to lose in this event yesterday. Overnight then, the success of that short program started to make them question, perhaps in practice earlier today, whether or not there was indeed something to lose.
But this is a great lesson. It's a hard lesson, and it's just the way the cards were dealt, right? The difficulty with the injuries, with the boots, with the late entry, with the, nervousness of, and then coming to the conclusion, we have nothing to lose.
Yes.
Let's just go out, do the best we can. And I think all in all, for them, it was a pretty good experience, even with the challenges.
Lessons learned as they try to utilize these lessons en route to becoming World Championship competitors again, having been off that stage since 2021.
Well, 123.36 is their season's best. This is a 115.72. One can understand that with the challenges at the top of the program, with a total competition score of 181.52. The first team out in the event. Our next team represents the United States of America, Ellie and Danny O'Shea.
Let's go, Ellie, shouts Dad. What nerves they must feel. How do Ellie and Danny now control the adrenaline that they must sense heading into the free skate as they skate Stand By Me? Ellie successful, but Danny not on the side-by-side triple toes. Much better even in the practice this morning. Really good effort on the throw triple lutz. Gorgeous choreo sequence as given to them from Marie-France Debreu. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that Ellie managed to get the second double axel, triple salto and 2 double axels. There's a lot of difficulty in the transitional content of the composition of this program.
That was nice.
Wasn't it? What a beautiful program.
And I thought the change of music and the change of pace partway through reminded me of a dance.
Absolutely, and I was really conscious of the input from their dance choreographers working with the Ice Academy of Montreal to create this piece, and there was so much difficulty through some of the transitional lifting mid-program.
And the joy on Danny's face partway through that program, his smile, just brought such a warmth to the program. We're talking about the program. This is a very athletic and technical team, but on this night, they brought some emotion into that program.
And I think they used East of Eden for their short program last year. I remember being wowed by the emotion of that, and this is strength that they really, really have. And what I admire about not just what they've given, but also the team behind them. Their coach, Drew Meekins, doubles up as a choreographer for many, but he is eager to push and support his teams to explore choreography and work with others. And that testament to the coaching staff's vision of pushing American pair skating forwards, eager to see this as more than just a list of elements.
And for the viewers out there, you know, to put that type of emotion into a pair program is difficult because the elements take so long. As we take a look at the twist, good split, hands down to the side, nice, clean catch. Level 4.
This is the surprise that Danny down on the side-by-side triple toe. And here, actually, insight into some of the difficulties. Now, Ellie here struggles with the second jump in the sequence, and somehow, I don't quite know how she did it, manages to get a second double axel as Coach Drew applauds ringside.
That extra little toe push helped her get up into that jump, and we take a look.
Actually, you know what? In this system, though, I don't know if they've given it because of the extra step, which is a shame.
Right,
valiant effort. But that I applaud the effort as we see other difficult transitional content pushing in to what I believe was the third lift.
Danny is so strong and has wonderful smooth turns, and you can see the tears.
Oh, they're laughing.
Special moment.
Thank you, Akiyama family. The signal sent out.
Thanks everybody in Colorado. Hope you're training hard.
Danny saying hope they're training hard. Danny, one of the coaches with the World Arena Skating Academy coaches alongside coaches Drew
Well, the season's best, 131.09. Will be a little bit short of that because of the mistake, but a 129.35, not far off the season's best, even with that mistake, Mark, and that's a pretty strong score. Total competition score of 198.26. That'll put them, for the moment at least, in the first place.
198.26, which brings them currently in
He's a big smile, eh?
Yeah.
Lights up the building.
And the last to escape from this group, representing
Our next team, the final in group number 1, from Italy, Sara and Niccolo Macci.
A testament to the work this team is doing in cementing their partnership. Niccolo took responsibility for the mistake in the throw in the short program, and he said he mistimed the throw, and consequently praised Sara for managing to stay up on it. Good teamwork between these two.
138.62, their personal best. Skating to Papa, Can You Hear Me by Barbra Streisand.
Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are yours?
Oh, some nerves being showcased at the start of the program for Niccolo. Safely through triple toe and 2 double axels. Oh, he had the landing of the Salchow. Niccolo having to regroup now. Sara sticking both of the throws that the triple Salchow. Sara Conti and Niccolo Macci from Italy complete a free skate that was a battle as Barbara Leone looks on ringside. You sense the discomfort for Niccolo, but what's the best thing here now is that support from partner that we maybe didn't see as fervently last year. The team united. She reassuring him that despite mistakes made, it's just a stepping stone.
That's such a strong point, Mark. You're not going to have your best days on every day in competition, but you need the support of your partner on those difficult times to know that you're a team and that as you move forward, you will support each other, and that elusive, clean program might just happen at the moment you most need it. It's a pursuit.
And Sara's working as hard now psychologically in the support of her partner as she did physically to stick those throws. Stay with her. He's disconnected. He's obviously so frustrated and upset, which you can understand.
But the reality is this is only partway through the season. There's time to come. There's some things to be gained from the challenges. So we take a look at some of the elements here.
She looks ethereal there. As we see the split twist. What I feel as Barbara applauds them ringside's head is that this team are, in their skating skills, stylistically matched perhaps better than any other. Transitionally and composition-wise, I think the program is quite simple comparative to that which we will see from the top group. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges analyze the skating skills.
I believe that they had some nice transitional lifts. That was good. This music is so beautiful and so pure, and a clean program with this music with some emotion is going to jet this team up the rankings. And they're not there yet.
Yeah, a testament to her late father. Papa, Can You Hear Me? The music, a tribute to her late father, who's passed away, obviously, and the emotion, as you say, there at the end, which will be even more passionately felt when all the jumping passes have been done.
Well, it's still in construction, still under work, and much more to come. The European Championship and the World Championship potentially. Let's take a look at the free program scores for Sara and Niccolo. 129.57. That is first in the free program with a total competition score of 200.06. And that'll put them currently in the first place. And you can see Niccolo shaking his head.
But Sara still doing all she can. European title is what they want to achieve again. In early
it's still very possible.
Work
Work to be done. The second group, final group. Representing Georgia, Anastasiia and Luka. This team, as we talked about, have such great individual skills and just relatively fresh out of junior. And they find themselves in third. In second place, Riku, Minerva and Ryuichi from Japan.
Representing Germany.
And the leaders from Germany, Minerva, Fabian Hasse and Nikita Volodin. Mark, this is a physically, every discipline is, I know, but this is a physically demanding event.
Just of the utmost physicality, and part of that because although the single skaters and the ice dancers, of course, are using upper body strength, the pair skaters are having to engage muscles that others don't necessarily have to for the likes of the 3 lifts that will take place in this free skate. And so it'd be fascinating to see the thermo scans of the body when under the duress of a performance, because every part of the body's worked in a pairs.
For the woman up on the lift, has to be absolutely rock solid, cannot move at all. So there are different physical emphasis that are required in pair skating than the other disciplines. As we take a look at Anastasiia and Luka, we talked about them winning the World Junior Championship, moving up into senior, and they are beginning to slowly shine.
And when they were asked after the short program about the goal for this event, they were not holding back and saying, of course it's to win, like it is every event. And they come into this now trying to vie up against those top teams from the last couple of World Championships, wanted to push in the mix, and they're not holding back and saying they don't want to push in the mix, they want to take the lead. And they are succeeding because of the fundamental quality of their skating skills individually and within their pair elements.
And you'll see a complete different program than we saw in the short program. You can just tell by the costumes, of course, as we take a look at former world champions Riku, Minerva, and Ryuichi. Kiha.
Whee!
That looks like fun.
Doesn't it? And you know, it looks like fun. For those newer to our wonderful sport, the tenacity and mental toughness of the women and the men in pairs discipline is just incredible. And to my mind, the pairs women are just a fascinating set of human beings that are both thrill seekers and mentally so tenacious.
You have to want to be in the air, and you have to want to be tossed or thrown or supported, whatever you want to call it, across the ice at, you know, 15, 18, 20 kilometers an hour. It's incredible sport. These are remarkable athletes and people.
Truly. And what makes it all the more exciting this season is to see the different approaches from these leading teams. And we've just seen the Georgian team, and now the Japanese team, and now to the Germans, and all of them have to perform the same elements. Levels are similar, but their choreographic pursuits, their presentation and composition can be really quite different.
And can make the difference. You know, given equal circumstances, technically, it's what was that program about? What were the skating skills about? All the small details, and perhaps even emotion.
And as you mentioned that when we watched the practice earlier today, we were watching the run-throughs, and upon conclusion of a couple of the run-throughs, we thought, oh, that could win. Oh, no, maybe that could win.
Yeah.
They're all brilliant, but not necessarily a front runner so clearly removed from the rest of the pack.
I think one of the interesting things that the television audience does not get, that we do get, or that you might get at an event, is watching the practice sessions. Because
a treat.
the competition, yes, that is the story of the event, no question. But the lead up to that has a few chapters prior to that final chapter, which is the event itself. And we can see the ups and downs, and you keep wondering, well, that team looked brilliant, and this was a challenge today, but you never know what's going to happen in the competition. And it's fun watching the practices as well.
Well, and I think for us, when we watched the 6 skaters on the ice in the practice earlier today, we're following practice, able to give a better estimate of who the best team are. What competition though delivers is who's the perhaps mentally toughest, or who is the most run-through trained. Because you can see who's got, you know, we've spent our lives in the sport, we can see who's got the best skating skills or perhaps the best technique on the elements, but that won't necessarily correlate to a 4-minute performance.
Being the best skater may not, you know, doesn't mean you're the best competitor. And being the best competitor doesn't necessarily mean you're the best skater, but it comes down to what can you do at the moment, in the moment.
Yeah, I think of somebody like, I don't know, Elvis Stoico, you know, not necessarily the best skater in any event, but a competitor.
He was a warrior.
Yeah, a warrior that was able to thrive and rise to the top based on their competitiveness, I should say. Hey, you go, girl.
Yeah, we've got. Well, they like the screen. They're competitive too. They want to shine, and when they're on the screen, there we go.
Well, we've been.
You where the camera was.
Yeah, we've been known for seeing French skaters being charismatic. Can
Yeah.
French audiences be the most so?
Yeah, just as much.
Skaters, you have 1 minute left in this warm-up.
Now, 1 minute left in the warm-up, and now not a lot is being done on the ice, so the cameras are on the audience. The skaters have pretty much done their warm-up and just getting the feel for the ice, and you can't see that at the moment, but most of them are not skating together, they're just skating separately.
Yeah, it's interesting. Our viewpoint allows us to see, as you say, each of the 6 skaters entirely separate. And actually, just simulating, Nikita Volodin just simulating takeoff for one of the 3 big lifts.
Called a walkthrough. They're walking through the basics of it.
Now simulating takeoff for the triple toe.
But on screen we have popcorn. It's such a difference.
Contradiction.
What the audience has seen and what we are seeing.
And that's the challenge for another aspect of the challenge for the athletes. Miura and Kihara are having an embrace on the ice, holding hands, staying calm and focused, but those around them are being excited, eating popcorn and ready for the show.
And here we go. The final 3 teams in the pair free program, going for medals, going for the title, and the prize money as well.
So integral to funding these dreams.
This team continues to mature and grow, and such beautiful elements as we've seen. And our first team in group number 2 represent Georgia, Anastasiia, Luka, Barulova.
And they were probably the cleanest in the run-through this morning in practice.
Personal best of 142.77. And they'll skate a completely different style here in the free program. A necessary end.
Such a difficult transition entry, different steps preceding the triple double axel sequence. Better with the side-by-side triple toes. Anastasiia and Luka Birolava, the world junior champions.
Mark, I think it's interesting. First of all, the technical elements are really sublime. They're extremely so well done. And I think their effort in this program was innovative and different completely from the short program. If this team weaves a story that has packed with emotion in feeling towards each other and external as well in time as they continue to mature, that's going to be something special because the elements are there. Maybe just a bit, not a disconnect, but not quite as strong as I think they can be.
A very interesting point, because as we were watching this performance, I'm considering that there was an obvious storytelling. There was obviously some kind of, perhaps I'm being ignorant to the music as to where it comes from, the story behind it. There's obviously some connection to the costume, perhaps belying a film soundtrack. I'm not sure, I apologize for not knowing it. But I agree with you. There was commitment to a concept, but I don't know if it had the emotional involvement that would perhaps take them to next level greatness.
It perhaps didn't connect with the audience. Okay, that said, it's such an improvement. Look at the twist here. Look at the height. Beautiful, nice, soft catch. That's a level 3, missing just one feature. The triple salchows, the double axles here on the quarter and a step out. And the lifts were incredible. This young man, he brings, and you won't see that perhaps if they don't show it, but on the lifts, he lifts his left leg higher than any other pair skater to stay away from the toe picks, keep the glide and the flow as we look at the forward inside death spiral.
And as we talk about the ice coverage within the lifts, also the lack of toe pick landings on the throw triple lutz. Here you see the footwork from Luka. And this is a grade of execution bullet point for the pair skaters. Smooth footwork of man is the 5th of the bullet points to potentially boost the grade of execution as we see the choreo sequence. And there, further storytelling and commitment to whatever thematic they're pursuing.
It's getting better. Their programming, choreography, and their connection, it's improving. And they're so strong technically. So there's still much more to come from this team. Well, 142.77 is their season's best in the free program. We'll see where their score will take them. They currently are in 3rd place after the short. Will they stay in the podium and take a Senior Grand Prix medal home? We'll find out right now.
Anastasiia and Luka.
Free program score, 133.52. That is first in the free program. That'll keep them first, at least for the moment, overall with the total competition score of 205.78.
Total competition score of 205.78, which brings them currently in 1st place.
And after the short program, in 2nd place, essentially tied for the lead, Riku, Minerva, and Ryuichi of Japan.
And since we last saw them at the NHK Trophy, they returned to Montreal to rework the music and the choreography in this long program. And based on practice, it's a real piece of art.
It's exciting indeed. 137.55, season's best. They'll skate to Adios by Benjamin Clement.
Adios, adios, adios to your afternoon. Tonight I'll be forever following the Colosseum moon into a certain room. Adios, adios. I'm sorry for quickly jumping into the train. I'm waiting, but no.
Split twist on the lyric jumping.
You were just too late.
Perfectly matching the music.
That decision is mine. That decision is mine. So let the lesson be mine. Let the lesson be mine. That decision is mine. That decision is mine.
Riku struggled in practice this morning with the side-by-side jumps, doubling the toe loop there and the single axle as well.
Adios. Yes, goodbye. Adios. After all, I should have no regrets. For if it wasn't for my mistakes I made yesterday,
down on the throw triple loop. Better with this side-by-side triple salto.
Let the dream cease breathing. Let the bee cease breathing. And all the salts in the Dead Sea ferments to honey.
Mistakes continue on the second of the throws.
I'll be forever chasing, chasing, chasing it all to the very end. That decision was mine. That decision was mine. So let the lesson be mine. Let the lesson be mine. That decision was hard. That decision was hard. But the vision is mine. That vision is mine. That decision is mine. Let the lesson be mine. 'Cause the vision is mine. The decision is mine. Let the lesson be mine. 'Cause the vision is mine.
Well, Mark, I love both the programs this team has. It's not together yet. They've got some mistakes coming, but they've got wonderful vehicles.
They really do. The programs are quite brilliant. The judges can't reward them in the components because of the abundance of mistakes unfortunately made. And what's interesting is that as former world champions, perhaps the confidence is just lacking because of their comeback from injury last season. It seems to be still creeping into their mental preparation. One of their coaches, Megan DeHamel, had explained that last week they were doing competition simulation because they were mindful of what was happening and showcased this season of the pressure of competition impacting the results, because this is not a reflection of what they do in the training ring.
It's a work in progress competing in competition, and you don't get to compete enough. Even simulation is simulation, but it's still not this. It's not television lights and audience and LED boards and all of that. It's a different environment, but it's only partway through the season.
True.
World's yet to come.
That decision is mine.
And that's where now, because the judges, with mistakes made, also so this morning there was a bad fall on the side-by-side triple toe for Riku. In the competition, she elected to double it.
It's mispicked, I believe, and we take a look at the lifts. Beautiful position in the air, great coverage on those turns. Just the toe triple loop, just didn't get the free leg back. Actually over-rotated slightly with the upper body. They had to struggle through the rest of the program. There's the triple Sakos that got them back on track. It's nicely done. Here's the throw triple Lutz. This looked okay. And then just trying to hang on and keep the hands off the ice, but eventually had to put them down. And back inside Death Spiral. Work yet still to be done, but time to complete it.
And this is actually, I suppose, where Bruno, the coach that's with him, Bruno, is going to be a wonderful person to aid them through the frustration of this. He's from my understanding, Ted, a brilliant ambassador for the psychology of supporting the athlete and helping them to feel better. So hopefully the rest of the season will be...
Bruno understands the long game, and it's a long game. It's not finished tonight. It has the second half of the season yet to come. 130.44 for Riku and Ryuichi. Is second in the free program. Total competition score of 206.71. So that will keep them at least in the silver medal position with one team to skate. Not the performance they wanted, but the result for the moment is still okay. But that is less important than their personal goals. Our final team, currently in first place after the short program from Germany, Minerva, Fabian Hasse, and Nikita Volodin.
Team Miniki, as affectionately named now by their growing number of fans around the globe.
Well, they have a 144.50 season's best for the free program. And they'll start their performance skating to winter from Four Seasons.
Beautifully timed with the music, with the triple twist. And Minerva doubled the toe loop in practice this morning. A hand down on the first jump, but recovers well with two double axels. Wonderful control to stick the landing of the first of the throws, the throw triple loop. Effortlessly through the throw triple salto into the falling leaf. Well, the Germans are very much excited. The French crowd. Minerva, Fabian Haza, and Nikita Volodin skating a winning performance.
That final lift on one foot is just bone-chilling. It just gives you chills. So solid, so difficult, and so risky. So beautifully done.
And what was impressive to me, Ted, is that you could sense, as all the teams have had, a nervousness, but it was controlled and handled, managed well. There could have been a few elements there that were on the brink of significantly different outcomes.
Well, this team is feeling very comfortable with where they're at. They are in control. You can see it. And although maybe there are nerves, maybe not, they're positioned themselves, or have positioned themselves to truly challenge for the title.
And any deviation from the trajectory they were on with the silver medal at Cup of China has now been changed as they try to take the well, they haven't tried to defend as title winners. They won in Beijing 12 months ago. I would be very surprised if that doesn't take gold again.
Let's look at some of these elements in the program. There's the twist, the hands to the side, the good catch. That's in at a level 3, missing one feature on the way in. And triple toe loops here, hands go down for Minerva, but she comes right back up into the double axel, and they squeeze out that second one.
And here, the first of the two throws, whereby you could see just a delay in the commitment to the extension of the left leg, but she wasn't going to let it go. And when we reference back to the mistake in practice this morning with the double toe from Minerva, she looked so frustrated with herself. This is obviously a team that have high aspirations and don't tolerate the mistakes.
There's the group 5 axel lift, great turns across the ice, wonderful full. Look how much ice coverage there was on that lift. The coach,
Dmitry Savin. And such a different concept to the choreography for this, to the Japanese team that preceded them. Much more classical and totally well suited. And what I also think is impressive here is that there's a really good performance match between Minerva and Nikita. Both of them engaged in performance. It's not a female-heavy performance partnership, which is sometimes the case.
No. And powerful, sort of dramatic free program, exciting. The free program scores for Minerva and Nikita. Looking their season's best, 144.50. And this performance brings a 141.38. That is the championship. That is the title. First in the free, of course, and the gold overall. And they are the Grand Prix final champions for 2024, 218.10 total competition score.
Team Maniki, it looks like, weren't aware of what went before them. They anxiously waited. They obviously assumed that they had no sense of the ease with which they could take the title, but they haven't taken it with ease. They've taken it with a convincing 12-point margin almost.
It's the only way champions need to look at it. And you need to go in and not worry about what anybody else has done and not take into your performance an easy road. Go for it. We saw Mao Shimada do that today. She went for everything. She went for the quad toe loop and the triple axel earlier today in the juniors. Didn't back down and kept the standards high as we take a look at the final standings with the Germans, the Japanese, and the team from Georgia, Anastasiia and Luka, taking the bronze.
And I suspect that Metalkina and Berolava will be frustrated that their cleaner skate than the Japanese team doesn't reward them with a silver medal, but the program components are the benefit of Miura and Kihara, which allow them to maintain at least a silver.
And we talked about that, about the program components. Anastasiia and Luka are wonderful technical skaters, and although the program is better each year, they're gaining maturity and choreography and exposure in program delivery. It still has some distance to travel, but they will.
Oh gosh.
Getting better all the time. And they just 1 point off the silver medal position, so not far away.
And so then we have to look forward excitedly to championships, where we'll put hopefully Diana Stellato de Deck and Maxime Deschamps back in the mix.
Yes.
To really make 5 teams in the world who are all, I'm sure, desiring the same thing, the world title. from
Diana and
Boston.
Max, world champions for a reason, and so they will step into the mix as we take a look at the bronze medalists.
Metalkina and Berolava with the triple saltos, and then just a little step out here for Anastasiia on the double axel. That was the only major mistake for the Georgian team. Both throws with the greatest flow and glide out, perhaps of all the teams.
Oh, taking the silver by 1 point. Riku, Minerva and Ryuichi Kira from Japan, former world champions. Two wonderful programs, but some challenges technically. They come back with that triple salto midway through the program. And here's a look at the triple Lutz, just slipping off the toe picks right there. Hands have to go down, and some other brilliant moments is forward inside or back inside Desparo. And they always have something magical about their relationship on the ice.
As we see the now repeat champions, Minerva, Fabian Haza, and Nikita Volodin, they leave Grenoble with another Grand Prix final title. They come away with a personal best in the short program, not a personal best in the free skate today, but the title cements them potentially as front runners heading into the latter half of the season.
A little fist bump right there.
Success deserved.
Exactly. Well, we are starting to close in on the final event, the senior men's short program. Incredible athletes. You'll see them shortly here in Grenoble. And that concludes the coverage of the senior pairs event.
I'm here with Minerva
Thank you for
and
watching
Nikita,
Senior Men coming up.
the champions of this category, please. A big round of applause for them. Congratulations again, you are the defending champions. Is it better to win the first time or the second time?
This time was for sure much harder than last year. Last year we didn't come with any expectation, and this year as defending champion, it's for sure more pressure, so we just are so happy that we made it.
Je leur ai demandé si c'était plus dur de gagner la première fois ou la deuxième fois parce que c'était les champions en titre. Et apparemment c'est plus difficile la deuxième fois parce que forcément il y avait des attentes. Mais ils sont toujours champions. Now you won the Grand Prix. What's your next goal? Is it the European Championships?
Next goal.
Yeah, next
Prochain
our
objectif.
competition, Deutsch National, and after we go to European Championship. Yeah.
Ok, donc leur prochain objectif, ce sera les championnats nationaux en Allemagne. So my next question will be, will you have time to celebrate this title, this Grand Prix before the National Championship? Est-ce qu'ils vont avoir le temps de célébrer cette victoire avant les championnats nationaux?
I mean, we were lucky that, it's so weird to hear myself. Tomorrow we have a day off, so we will celebrate a little bit and cheer on for our German ice dance team. And next week, I think we're gonna start practice again for nationals. And after we have a little bit time during Christmas to celebrate.
Bon, ben demain, ils sont en repos, ils vont venir encourager les autres athlètes allemands et ensuite, ils vont devoir reprendre l'entraînement pour les championnats nationaux et après, ils pourront célébrer. Congratulations again to both of you. Please, big round of applause again for the champions.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you.
Well, wonderful to hear from the champions here in Grenoble, Minerva, Fabian Hasse, and Nikita Volodin, the champions in the pairs event. Up next, the senior men's short program from Grenoble.